What's going down, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mike with Sean back on the mic this week. Welcome back, sir. And Mark, this is the Comic Bookies podcast. Welcome into the live recording of episode 105. Gentlemen, how are we this evening so far?
Doing good, my man. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday, TCB fans, my TCB brothers. Going to be a fun episode tonight, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, welcome in, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. How's my brothers?
Doing pretty good, man. Just, you know how
lying.
Wednesday is. Just, you're over halfway through the week, just trying to get through the last 2 days to the weekend. Hopefully you don't have enough work to have to go in on Saturday,
True story, brother. I'll have a good week. It starts tonight, though. So have a good night tonight, and hopefully have a good end of the week for sure, and a fun weekend.
Oh yeah, dudes. So fans, whoever's tuning in right now and whoever's going to tune into this video later, thank you so much for tuning in. We are on YouTube and Twitch, but let's go ahead and we do like we do the last couple weeks and on. We're going to go ahead and record like the intro to the episode. So let's do that let's get a little bit of silence. I actually didn't get the silence before we went live, so let's get a few seconds of silence and then I will start it. So thank you.
There's your silence.
Freaking Mark. Nice. What is up, fans? Welcome in. This is the Comic Bookies podcast, live recording of episode 105. Thank you so much. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Come on in and join us. This week in sports, March Madness is madness right now. We are going to give you up-to-date action on all the games so far and a preview of the Sweet 16. NASCAR for the first time in decades. We are on the dirt in Bristol, Tennessee. The NFL has a new TV schedule, and we have an update on the EPL. And over on the comic book side, today is New Comic Book Day and the best Wednesday of the month, Previews Day. So we have previews and a bunch of books to preview and review from last week, and a bunch of news for you, including the Snyder Cut review, Falcon Winter Soldier, Episode 1 review, tons of movies being made, animes, people being recast on our CW shows, all that and more on a brand spanking new episode of the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 105. Come and join us. Let's go. And there you have it.
I love it, brother.
So I noticed, I actually checked Libsyn today, fellas. We did not get any new countries, on, like, downloading us on the episode, but we did get 2 or 3 new subscribers on YouTube, and then
Probably strict on travel ban right now, so.
And then I think 2 new followers on Twitch. So thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast. We really appreciate it, including 1 new follower on Instagram, which we will preview later, but Tim Sheridan from the writer for DC, the Teen Titans Academy writer. Thank you so much for following us. If you ever see this episode right now on live or hear it on, Apple iTunes or wherever you hear it, thank you. Okay, gentlemen and fans, we're going to go back live in 3, 2, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, subscribing, following, listening, all of that stuff. Thank you so much. We are brought to you, like every week, by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Today, New Comic Book Day. Go and see Alex. He'll get you your pull list like every single week. He's got what you need. Fellas, what's going down? Sean, it was Mickey Mouse in your place last week because we had breaking news of Disneyland opening up in April. So I kind of put, like on our live feed, a picture of Mickey Mouse welcoming everyone back to the castle. But you are now back. Missed you in the 2-year anniversary episode, but glad you're back, bro. What's happening, Sean, and what's happening, Mark?
Obviously, a happy 2-year anniversary to the Comic Bookies. Obviously, the fans as well, because you guys are a part of the journey just as much as we are. And if there's anyone that can replace me, it is Mickey, especially with the current conditions. We are very excited for Disneyland to be opening up soon. But no, everything is good, man. Like I said earlier, a great Wednesday. Work's actually going pretty smooth this week. Family's good. Things are slowly opening up. All these tiers are starting to brighten up in color. So I think it's getting better overall. You know what? It's good vibes, good energy, man.
Yep.
Mark, Mike, how you guys doing?
Good to have you back, brother. Welcome, fans. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Irmão and Brasi. If you guys don't know, that's brother in Polish, I believe, in Portuguese. But no, I want to, Mike, you already asked for the 10 seconds of silence earlier, but I'd like to give a little couple of seconds of silence here on this podcast for some of the horrific stuff that has happened with Colorado, Atlanta, we mentioned. But if you will, couple seconds. Thank you guys. But nonetheless, I thought it was pretty crazy. We'll get to the tournament later, but I think that Colorado, when they took that beating to Florida, right? Florida State, I could have sworn that, if I'm not mistaken, I can look it up. It isn't Colorado, isn't it based out of Boulder, the college?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where like the shooting was. So they had the game, I think, a couple hours after. And I was like, oh, Colorado's definitely going to win this game now, right? Do it for Boulder or whatnot. But nonetheless, they did get kind of their butts handed to them. But we'll get into college basketball and all that later. Nonetheless, guys, I had a wonderful weekend. I looked on the forecast ahead for the Bay Area and California.
The
looking
Bay,
gorgeous.
baby.
It's going to be hot, hot, hot.
70 and nice.
70.
Spring weather.
I got 82 on Sunday.
Oh, I'll take 82 though. I like it hot.
That Traeger is going to be fired up for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I already have the pork butt thawing out. I got the pork shoulder. I got some pulled pork sandwiches.
That Traeger ain't gonna be 82. We'll tell you that much.
No, Mark, you come over and get some pulled pork sandwiches and maybe some chicken tendies. Some tendies.
Some tendies. Yeah, why not? No, I hope that if I'm going over all the way to Tracy from some food off the Traeger, I hope it's a little bit more high quality than some chicken tendies. If you know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not making chicken tendies. I just wanted to make the tendies reference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got you on that one, but we're gonna save the chicken tendies at the smoke out for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not that type of smoke out either, comic bookie fans. Not what you're thinking about. We're talking about the damn Traeger here. All right.
We know what you're talking about, Mark. But dude, it was pretty crazy. Like I mentioned, like I was texting you guys a little bit last Saturday, and then if everyone saw the YouTube video, the newest one that we put up, Batcave Minute 16. Me and my wife, we celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary, but we went like out to San Jose, to Santana Row. We went to that outdoor place. Sean, me and you have been there, the tequila bar, little bistro, the El Jardín, to have a nice lunch. And it was just amazing. It was crazy. Like I was like, whoa, I was taken aback at one point, but then I was happy at the next to see so many people out. Walking around, sitting down. There were only about 3 empty tables at El Jardín. Like there was no social distancing at all. But then at the same time, like everyone had their mask on until the food or drink, came to your table or whatever. So there was never a moment where I didn't feel safe or whatever. I was just so happy that people were out there, especially in California, when we've had such strict restrictions for over a year now. So it was really nice to get out, and it was a beautiful day to have a few drinks, have a few appetizers and stuff. Yeah, I had a great time, man.
Well, I think we've all kind of experienced one of those situations where it's like, damn, this is like a sense of normalcy, and something that we kind of took for granted before this COVID thing. Now it's like, you and Danielle sitting there, and you're probably like, oh shit, like I remember this, but it's like it just feels a little different because you haven't had it in so long. But like we've all said, man, I mean, from the past episodes until now, we're just happy things are getting better between the vaccine, people kind of just using some common sense, and just a promoting of good practices. We'll definitely get to a good spot where we can be about as normal as we can be, have some Comic-Cons for us, some sporting events. So we're excited, man. Good vibes right now for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, there's that it's getting better when things like Disneyland's opening up, when there's reports of thousands of fans being allowed at the baseball stadium. So I think sometime this summer, baseball we're going to see is probably the sport where we're going to get maybe full capacity at some places. I mean, we've already heard that Texas, they want to opening day, boom, 100%. But I think it's going to feel a little bit normal maybe around the All-Star break, because the All-Star game is in Atlanta, in Georgia. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the first couple days where we get a huge crowd for a huge event like that, is the All-Star game,
Well, one thing I did actually see the other day is Canelo. He actually has a fight coming up. I forgot who it's with, and it's in Texas. I don't know if it's in July timeframe, but they've already gotten the go that they're expecting at least 60,000. Wow. They want to let's pop the cherry and let's do a full event and see how this goes. So
yeah. I think UFC is doing one soon too. I think Dana White announced one of the upcoming UFC events is going to be held, and I'm sorry I don't know the venue. I don't have it on me, but that's going to be full capacity. He expects an ass in every seat. So I mean, more power to people. Hopefully, we don't have any cases coming out of that. We've had plenty of events to where they've had tens of thousands of fans and nothing has happened. So hopefully that continues to, people just, like you said, be safe, don't be dumb, and then we'll definitely get past it. But yeah, I mean, let's. I mean, we're already on this kind of the sports road. Let's keep trucking, fellas. So March Madness, Friday, a couple play-in games, including a Pac-12 team beating a Big Ten team. That is a huge theme so far in the first two rounds of this tournament. So very, very exciting. I was off on Friday, so I actually got to watch a little bit of the games on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we don't have games, I believe, until Saturday, the Sweet 16. But fellas, how did you enjoy the first two rounds? Sitting on your ass and just watching some games? Fans, let us know how, is your bracket busted? I'm sure all of our brackets are busted unless we have Gonzaga or Michigan winning it all or whatever. But what say you fellas, man?
I think some brackets might be busted, but I can tell you that every perfect bracket was done with like 2 or 3 games left in the first round. So I think that kind of says how fun this tournament actually is. We don't really have many fans, if any fans. So it makes it a real level playing field. And it gives it even more of a desire for these, underdogs to go out and ball out. I mean, you've seen all these teams that how the hell did they win? And we talked about earlier the Abilene Christian that freaking Mark's dreading right now. Illinois losing in the second round to Loyola Chicago. So just a couple examples of these teams that, they're kind of not supposed to be there. But those Cinderella stories, man, they're here, and the tournament's fun, bro. Exciting.
And that's exactly it, Sean. I mean, dude, I've been texting back and forth with our buddy Johnny, and my big NCAA tournament aficionado. Shout out Johnny for the hitters and the good info that he's been providing me. But nonetheless, man, the good info I've been providing him is, bro, these damn seeds in this tournament, especially this year, because obviously we missed last year. Dude, I mean, how many times have we seen, obviously not once to seem to go down this fast, but we did see it with Virginia a couple years ago, right? With 2018, then they come back the next year and win it, which I thought that was pretty cool. But the seeding in this damn tournament doesn't really mean anything. We got, Syracuse right now at an 11, always killing it with that 2-3 zone. I like them kind of, plus the points going up against Houston. So TCB fans, jot that one down. A little underdog action for you early here. But yeah, man, these games, you saw Illinois, which, I was kind of suspect on them in the beginning. Number one, you want to talk about brackets being busted. They were never even in it against Sister Jean, right? I just think that Illinois, they were suspect losing to Ohio State in the damn Big Ten championship game. And you saw how weak Ohio State was, right? Losing to, who'd they lose to, guys? Ohio State.
They lost versus, I have it right here.
Pull it up now. I got it too.
They didn't lose to Oral Roberts, did they?
They did.
It was Oral
Roberts.
Yes. Oral Roberts playing. Oral Roberts also beat Florida. So, a number 15 seed. God.
And that's the second time that a 15 seed has actually made the Sweet 16. The other time was Florida Gulf Coast in 2013. Mm-hmm. Little tidbit that's been floating around in the gambling and sports world lately. But I don't know, man. I think Oral Roberts, don't see them going much farther. Although they do got some shooters on that team. I think that with Michigan getting a little scare from LSU, but eventually pulling off that win and getting the cover as well. I think that we're kind of going to see the cream rise to the crop in these latter rounds, but a team that I do kind of like, other than the orange that I mentioned, but I do kind of like Loyola Chicago, man. They got, that I don't know what it is.
Don't mess with Jesus.
And I think that damn coach, Porter Moser, that guy, he's kind of knows what he's doing. They kind of remind me of they can be a damn, like a Gonzaga of the East or something.
He's like a Brad Stevens 2.0, man. He takes these small schools. Who's Brad Stevens with? Wichita, I want to say, or
No, he was with no, he was with when they played Duke, when they went back to back. B, it starts with the B, damn it.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get back to that.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, but they lost. Remember they lost I think to Kemba Walker, UConn, Butler. They lost to Kemba.
Butler, there it is. Yep.
He coached Butler. That's why Gordon Hayward was on those teams. Obviously played for him in Boston.
They're playing.
But anyway,
they're actually playing some games at Butler.
Butler's in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're playing at Butler. They're playing where the Pacers play. They're playing where the Hoosiers play. Yeah, they're playing in a bunch of places.
Enough of the damn games that already happened.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the games that are going to happen that fans are going to be listening to. Your guys' thoughts on some of these games coming up here?
I mean,
what do you guys think?
We're Pac-12. This is Pac-12 country, baby. Like when you have only one team lose, in the Pac-12, there's 4 teams. 25% of the teams left are in the Pac-12. Like the hell, in the last time that happened, I
love it.
Like until what? Arizona. Like over the last 50 years, we've only had 2 Pac-12 championships, and I think both years were Arizona. And I think since the mid 70s when UCLA went on that huge run where they won 10 or 11 straight or whatever. But to have 9 Big Ten teams lose, that which one's crazier? 9 out of 10 Big Ten teams lose in the first 2 rounds, or the 4 out of 5 Pac-12 teams are now in the Sweet 16. It's crazy.
It is crazy, bro. And I think, alluding to what Mark said, I think we're at the point where there are going to be those select teams where the cream does, rise to the top. But I'll tell you, bro, those Trojans from USC and those Mobley brothers, man, those guys can play. You got one, underneath, just it's a block party every time he plays, and his brothers just jacking up threes. I see them blowing by Oregon. They're going to probably play, obviously, Iowa. Oh, no, actually, no, God. They're going to play the winner of Gonzaga. So they'll play Gonzaga. Let's be honest about that. And that's where, I think the matchup comes in because Gonzaga, they're such a damn good team. But I don't know, man. I love that West right now because USC is actually showing they're a little bit more than just, they just surprised Kansas. They dominated Kansas. Kansas, they didn't have a chance that game. So that might be my little sleeper right there, USC guys.
I definitely like USC as well. Let's run through these games, though. On Saturday, you got Oregon State, Loyola starting off first. Nova, Baylor. Nova is like a 6.5-point dog against Baylor. Your brother's team, Mike. Oral Roberts, the 15th seed, going up against Musselman's led Arkansas Razorbacks. Man, Eric Musselman, man. Let's not forget what he did in the Mountain. Let's not forget what he did in the Mountain West with those 2 twins, and talk about the Mosley twins. I remember with Nevada, the Wolfpack, when he coached those teams. Didn't they go to an Elite 8? I believe they made an Elite 8 with those twins, or at least
that was a couple years ago. I remember
that was a couple years ago. So Musselman, man, he's a good coach. And I think that this might be where Oral Roberts' kind of little parade ends. Syracuse, that's my favorite game to take that day, the last game of the day. And Syracuse, like I said, 6 points. You guys have any thoughts on those games? Or you guys like the Sunday games more? Creighton at Gonzaga. Creighton been stumbling a little bit, kind of came back to life. We saw how close they played Santa Barbara. I really liked the Gauchos, took them in that game, and that was an easy winner. The Gauchos played tough. Creighton's been kind of mediocre, and then what do? They come and they pound who they play. Ohio, I believe. Was it Ohio? Or a lot of people were on Ohio. I think Creighton pounded them. Sorry, so many damn games. If I don't have them in front of me right now, sometimes I forget who plays who. But I know exactly that Florida State beat that Colorado team that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. They play Michigan. Don't sleep on the Pastor and Florida State's defense, though, man.
I like Florida State, Mark. Good call.
And another Johnny tidbit. He told me that I think Florida State is the longest team in D1 basketball. So they D up on you. They got those long arms, wing spread and whatnot. Wingspan, sorry. And, man, it's going to be tough for Michigan if they play like they did against LSU. But I think LSU is better than Florida State, if you will. So I can see Michigan advancing as well. Your guys' game, UCLA, another 11 seed here against 2 Alabama. Alabama's pretty damn good. Have you guys watched them play?
I really like I really like them. I think the two SEC teams, Arkansas, Alabama, are going to advance. I think Oral Roberts' magic is done. Unfortunately for the Pac-12, I think 3 out of 4 teams are going to lose this weekend. Loyola Chicago will beat Oregon State. Obviously, one of Oregon or USC is going to lose, and then UCLA will get pounded by Alabama. One of my favorite matchups, though, again, like you mentioned, my brother's team, like he likes to go all the way. I love the Villanova-Baylor matchup. But yeah, it's not going to be a good weekend for the Pac-12, and I'm loving this Baylor-Villanova matchup. I'm excited to watch that on Saturday.
I got to copy and paste everything that Mark and Mike just said. Obviously, Alabama is a damn good team, and I think they're going to pound UCLA. I actually think Florida State's going to beat Michigan. I think Michigan, they definitely hit a good run versus LSU. I think LSU is actually a better team, but Michigan did catch them at the end of that game, and they stride. You know what? Boeheim's son with Syracuse is a baller. And I think that Houston's getting a little bit too much credit in that 2 seed. And I think Syracuse is actually going to comfortably win that basketball game.
There you go.
Agree. Loyola Chicago, I think, is going to be Oregon State. And I think Arkansas is actually going to end up in the Final Four out of that bracket.
Ooh.
I love the way they play. I think they're a damn good basketball team. I think the only time that I had questions about them was the first 5 minutes of their opening game versus Colgate. But ever since then, they've been striding. So that's going to be my sleeper team to get to the Final Four.
Mark, can I get a Oh, man.
No, I like Arkansas, though, as well. UCLA, I like them, but I just don't know if they got what it takes.
Wrong matchup, bro. Wrong matchup.
Wrong matchup. Oregon State, they're kind of that team right now. I saw that Oregon State has won 5 straight elimination-style games dating back to the championship or the conference tournament, right? So, dang. So, they're playing elimination-style basketball right now. And, I do like Loyola, but remember, they're coming off that high. Everyone's patting them on the back, telling them how good they did, Oregon State's kind of that team that's just been playing that raw and dirty, basketball. Not dirty, but, you know what I mean. Just
gritty.
Just gritty, getting it out. Yeah, gritty, exactly. Thank you.
I think
gritty basketball.
I think more times than not, when a stat like Oregon State's stat gets put up on a pedestal and like it just gets thrown at you and stuff, then that stat just goes to crap. Like everyone jumps on that stat. I haven't seen the whole, elimination game stat until they hit 5. So now they've won 5 in a row, blah, blah, blah. So now, of course, they're going to go and they're going to ride it. No, not going to happen. Sorry. I'm not sure about a cover, but a money line for sure Oregon State loses this weekend, in my opinion.
I think it's a really good week for a money line with the games that we have, because it seems like, with the Villanova Baylor game, that actually might be one of the harder games, because we know Nova can play, but Baylor, when they're on, there's no doubt it should be probably Baylor and Gonzaga, facing each other in the end. But I don't know, man. Right now this week, I'm pretty comfortable with the games overall. Like we said, I think unfortunately we've rode the Pac-12, so happy they've done so good, but this is the week where we might have maybe one win, just kind of based off matchups alone. We'll see, man. Saturday's right around the corner, so we have some time to chill, get our picks in. I'm excited.
Yeah, if these numbers keep going up, man, I'll definitely be looking at Villanova +7. I'm going to be looking, of course, at my Orange +6. I'm going to be looking definitely at I like UCLA. Hopefully that number can creep a little bit more towards 7. And I'll be trying to see playing them as a dog. But yeah, those are probably my 3 favorite. And Oregon State as well. The number kind of ticked down a little bit. If I can get it close to 7 again, I'm kind of with Mike there. Loyola Chicago, I can see that money line winning it, but 7 points might be a little bit too much for this gritty team of Oregon State from Corvallis, baby.
There you go, fans. So go ahead and tune in this weekend to the Sweet 16. And then the Elite 8 to lead into the Final Four, and we'll get into that next week. But a couple quick things before we get to NASCAR. I wanted to hit on it because it was news like the day or two after myself and Mark recorded episode 104. But the NFL announced their new TV deal as far as like the next 10 or 15 years, and a huge, huge deal for Amazon Prime Video exclusive. I think by the year 2023, they're going to have every Thursday Night Football. They'll have 15 or 16 games. Sunday afternoons, you'll have NFC games on Fox/Tubi, AFC games on CBS/Paramount Plus. You got Sunday Night Football, NBC, Peacock, and of course Monday Night Football. You have ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus. So all of these games, all of these days, every single game is somehow connected to a streaming service. So it's huge for cord cutting. It's what we've been talking about for the last couple years, with myself and Sean being on YouTube TV, trying to get Mark to jump on the train and, just dump the dish into let's be honest. If Mark's going to throw away his dish, it's probably going to end up in the ocean. So we don't want him to do that. But hey, he's going to save some money at the same time. So it's going to be huge this next couple years.
I think it's really good. Obviously, they're going to make it really versatile for all these different platforms. But the one thing I will say is we grew up, let me go to Channel 2, Channel 5. We knew what channel the game was on growing up. So I just hope, despite them going to all these different platforms, they'll still make it easy to where people don't need to pay extra. We've never had to pay for a freaking NFL game.
Yeah.
So let's not start now. That's, I think, my biggest thing. Make sure at least we get that local game and that, opposite 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock game, and of course the primetime games. Because, we've raved how much we love the Amazon Prime, but it's true. Some people, they just will never get Amazon Prime. Maybe they're old school, whatever it may be, and you shouldn't punish them for that. So I just hope they find some sort of way to maneuver, kind of just, I'm not gonna make every American get Amazon Prime now just to watch some damn football. So we'll see what they do.
And then you have people who still have Red Zone. It's still going to be the premier source for football because you still have, fantasy football is still huge. So as long as everyone can get all of the games on that channel or whatever, or, I think our YouTube TV, we have to pay for it separately or whatnot. But I think NFL Red Zone, at least for the time being, is going to be the more popular source to get all of your football. Or on Mark's side, you have the Sunday NFL Ticket. So I think that, it's going to be kind of popular with people who are completely cord cutting and want to experience something new. Hey, you know what? Instead of CBS, let's check out the Raiders and Chiefs game over on Paramount Plus. It'll be something new. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. And then, of course, all the Super Bowls, you have it, I think over the next 10, 15 years, you have everyone sprinkles their own. If I'm not mistaken, you have CBS, Fox, NBC, and even ESPN, ABC, getting their own, they're getting 2 or 3 Super Bowls each. So it's not going to be years and years and years of just Fox and then years and years and years of just CBS. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Definitely some changes coming over the next couple years.
And are we going to need Amazon to be able to watch Thursday Night Football coming up? That's what it's starting to sound like.
Come 2023, it sounds like you will. It'll be Amazon Prime exclusive. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, that's what that is.
True. Yeah, which most people, I guess, pretty much do these days. But nonetheless, dude, 11 years, man. 11 damn years.
Yeah.
You know what that means. That's just, man, that I can just imagine all the young in that Jerry in their job money that they're their way, man. 11 years too. I don't know. Your guys' thoughts on a contract like that.
that
billion-dollar industry, man. Yeah. Billion-dollar industry.
$113 billion industry, man.
Right? So thanks a lot, Matt Bedwell. He's jumping in the chat. Long live Red Zone.
What's up, Matt?
For sure. I've had Red Zone for years and years. Unfortunately, with YouTube TV, do we get access to it, Sean? Do we have the option of paying extra for Red Zone?
We do have the option, because I know every season they give us 2 or 3 weeks free throughout the season. So, just the fact they do that. And it's funny because actually they do NBA TV free a couple times throughout the year. So I think we can, get the special package where we can include those channels when need be. And as fantasy guys, we definitely probably are going to be getting that going forward, hopefully.
Yeah, Matt, you're right. He says that they're probably going to raise your membership too. So if you have an existing Prime membership with all these new things coming out, hella different TV shows. Sure, there's a comic book animated TV show starting on Friday, Invincible, from Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead. So there's tons of things to do. And then, of course, if you get exclusive Thursday Night Football, they're going to raise your yearly rate. I think I pay $120 a year. It'd be much more than that.
You got to get grandfathered in, man. Can't change the rate, baby.
I know.
And a couple other tidbits from this deal. Mike, you're right. I might have to just let my dish go into the ocean. It's already right here by the bay. But a contract that's still up in the air is the DirecTV deal for the Sunday ticket. That only runs past until the 2022 season. More Monday doubleheaders are going to be happening more often. I think that people obviously like from the COVID times. I mean, it kind of happened in NASCAR too, right? How many we got like those 4 races in 11 days. We got weekday games. I thought it was kind of awesome, you know. So we're gonna be seeing that. Mike, your favorite for your kids to watch. The Nickelodeon games are more likely to come back. There will be more of them for you and the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, couple little changes, big ones at that is. But you know what's gonna be changing more is the money that's going to be going into these damn kids. These damn, yeah, they are kids at this point in my life. I'm getting old, man. The money that's going to be going into these damn athletes' pockets, especially if they try to do what's his name did and turn it into Bitcoin, baby.
Mm-hmm. Russell Okung.
Okung, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Okung going all the way to the O bank to Bitcoin.
So going forward, let's talk a little Champions League. I'm not Champions League, but EPL. So little update on the English Premier League. I mean, for fans who watch it consistently, I mean, you have Manchester City with a 14-point lead. They have played one more game than Manchester United, but I don't think that matters. They've almost doubled the amount of goal differential as Manchester United. So, I mean, definitely some, things could get interesting, like we said like a month ago, as far as 2 through 4. With you have Tottenham Hotspurs only 3 points out of 4th place. West Ham is only 2 points out of 4th place. Liverpool, you still have a shot. You're only 5 points out of 4th place in a Champions League spot for next season. But as far as the championship is concerned, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think that we shouldn't have to talk about it anymore. I think Manchester City is pretty much wrapped it up 30 games into the season. I think they play, 38 or whatever? Yeah.
Just about. Yeah, I think the conversation with them, it ended right when it started. They haven't lost this calendar year, so they're probably going to run away with that title. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Man U sitting there in second. They're in a good spot to obviously get into the Champions League, but they're also doing great in the Europa League, as we talked about earlier. I think they're in the semifinals. They beat AC Milan. Pogba had that game winner. So, they have a couple ways to get into that Champions League. At this point, I think that's kind of the trophy, quote unquote, for all these lower tier teams. West Ham, they're sitting at 49 points, so they'll be a surprise to get in. I know Mark's kind of banking on that Champions League for Liverpool, because unless they straighten up in the Premier League, the
that's
Champions
all I
League,
got.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool pulled all the way back. They're sitting here at 7th place. Man, I mean, they overtook your Wolves, Sean, for that 7th place. I mean, the Wolves
they're having a bad year, man. They're having a real bad one.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all they really got. They're gonna face Real Madrid coming up here a couple weeks, if not the next week, I believe. Yeah, so they're gonna be facing Real Madrid. Liverpool's chances are gone. Like Mike said, it's a foregone conclusion. EPL's been fun, but I don't know. This time, if Mike's not investing in Man U stock at this point, 17.50 cents on a high today, hitting the high ticker.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool. 17.53 or whatever. That was dope.
Yeah, something there was. I don't know if there was some.
High.
I thought they were making a trade or something because that damn stock was hitting earlier. But nonetheless, guys, excited. But I could be more excited like last season, bro.
Yeah, true. I think we all could. But so going from the EPL to our last sport of the evening, NASCAR. So I think it's 50 or 60 years, Mark, but they haven't. The Cup Series has not run a race on dirt in that long. But finally, coming back, giving the people what they wanted. The full season after COVID, even though NASCAR technically had a full season last year, but they're giving it to us. The first of 2 races at Bristol, Tennessee. We are on dirt. It's crazy how they did it. I hear stories after story. Shannon Spake from Fox Sports, she's on Clay Travis's Outkick the coverage like every week, and they talk about it. Today they talked about how they had like a dirt doctor actually come in, and they pulled dirt from different regions, from different countries to like make it look and feel correct. They didn't just pour like soil that you would use to plant plants and vegetables on there and and then hope that it stuck. So the process that they went through over the summer and the fall to get it down and to keep it a dirt track, the whole what is it, like 500 laps or whatever, it's gonna be awesome, bro.
I'm literally going to say, I think 10 seconds worth of stuff, because I've never seen a NASCAR race on a dirt track. And all I know is that Larson kicks ass on a dirt track. And who is the young guy, Mark? We talked about him a couple weeks ago
Bell.
too. He already Christopher Bell. So he's another young gun who's good on the dirt track. So I'm just gonna sit back and relax and enjoy this race. Hopefully Chase does good, but I'm very excited, man. Something new for experiencing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing you're going to experience also, Sean, is that you're not going to have your typical race. They're going to have it all set up kind of like with the heat races and just how they do it in the dirt world of outlaws type sprint cars and late models and what have you. But, I'm not too familiar much with dirt racing either. I know that trucks do it at Eldora every year.
Mm-hmm.
They have been lately for the last 5 or 6 years, so that's pretty exciting. That's kind of where my knowledge from dirt comes. I know it's got to be packed certain way, and
I always win too. I always win that race in the video game.
Mike's the best.
There you go, Mike.
I am the man at Bristol. Dirt or no dirt, just you can't see me on Bristol, bro.
How does pit road work in a dirt track? Because, I mean, again, I have no idea. Like, I've never even seen what the hell a dirt track would look like for
all about to find
NASCAR.
out together, man.
Okay, so you don't know either? Okay.
Unless we got some comic booky NASCAR fans out there that are older than 50 years old that experienced it last time. I mean, I think we're all going to find out together,
well,
man.
There's two different entrances to pit road at Bristol, so I'm pretty sure it would be the same. Like both straightaways coming out of the turns, you have two different pits or whatever. Because I remember whenever I go low and off the track but low, whatever, they say, hey, wrong pit, but I'm not. I had no intention of going there. I always get the little thing before I cross the line.
How many speeding penalties are you getting though?
I just got a black flag last week when I streamed. I got one, but I'm usually pretty good. I've gotten better because, dude, so many times when I first started playing that game, bro, I would always come in too hot and I'd spin the hell out of it. I'd crash. I'd cause a caution, and of course I was trying to pit anyways, so then I would lose the lap also. I'm like, oh damn, man, this sucks. But no, I've gotten way better. But I did, yes, thank you for bringing it up. I did get one black flag, but I still ended up with the top 10 in that race. I believe it was at Texas.
So you know about the races then, Mike, how you get the heat races, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I don't think we're going to be expecting 500 miles. It's not going to be like that. I think it's just going to be kind of like I said, mainly like how they run it on dirt.
Okay.
It might be like 50, 60, or probably more than 60 because, I'd say more, maybe like 200-ish laps. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. I haven't done too much digging into it. I'm kind of just really excited for it, honestly. I'm kind of happy going into it blindly. I'm glad that Fox Sports has gotten Clint Boyer in the booth now because he's real good at dirt, and the guy does a pretty damn good job at explaining like kind of the dirt background and whatnot. But I mean, let's pull up some odds here real quick if we got some.
I mean, you can pull up all the odds. Like
it doesn't matter.
No, I mean the odds probably matter more than the actual stats. Because me and Sean, before you jumped on with us in pre-production, we were like, dude, why am I even listing any of these stats? Like, I guess, it's like a rough estimate. Like, you could say because Kyle Busch has 8 wins at Bristol, but does that matter on dirt? Kinda, but like over under like 50% of this is like, trustworthy. Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin have a handful of wins. Keslo's got 3 wins at Bristol. Like, does that any of that matter? Like even a little bit?
Not really, bro. These guys are doing a bunch of damn practice and trying to get ready for this race. Mm-hmm. Kyle Larson's a heavy favorite, bro. I mean, this is kind of funny right here. This is actually really funny. When was the last time? I mean, I've seen Kyle Larson up there, but when was the last time you saw Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as your top 5 favorites to win this race?
Take a picture of that.
Because Austin Dillon won that race, right?
The truck race. He won I think it was the very first ever truck race. It was the first or the second one, I believe. I think it was the first one at Eldora.
Well, no,
he's good on dirt.
But they raced like last Saturday or like Thursday or Friday before the race in Atlanta. A bunch of NASCAR drivers, including Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, like they raced a dirt race at Bristol, but in like one of those like the different cars. And Austin Dillon won that race. It was like the Nationals or something. I forgot what the hell it was. But yeah, so that's funny you say that because I was like, oh shoot, he just won that little race that they raced on like Thursday or Friday before the race on Sunday.
Let me tell you this though, Michael Biella. These damn odds makers, they're no dummies, right?
No, definitely not.
I mean, how many races did Larson win last summer when he had his incident and slipped up and just went and ran dirt as he, kept. How many races?
I want to say it was
The guy
I want to say it was half. It was like 40 out of 80 races last season he won. It was something like that. Crazy.
and the odds makers making him a plus a 2.5 to 1 favorite. 2.5 to 1. I mean, that's damn near in the. I mean, that's damn near. You might as well make them almost even. 2.5 to 1. Christopher Bell coming in next at 7 to 1. Austin Dillon, as close as he tries to be, he's at 11 to 1. So you're already in double digits with your third favorite driver, Chase Briscoe, 12 to 1. I wouldn't even put any money on him because yes, he's good on dirt, but he's a rookie, and you still got to get a feel for how these cup cars work and how they drive and everything. And I think that with 5-6 races under your belt, it's just not going to be enough to kind of know exactly how a cup car is going to work, especially all that
excited.
700.
I like that little smirk Mike got right now. Someone's extra happy right now.
What'd you say last week, Mark? I can eat a banana sideways right now. I'm smiling so much.
Yeah, you're not smiling that hard like as much you were last week. You remember last week it was about the Snyder cut.
Dude, it's freaking just 10 laps left. You freaking this car just goes to shit. What happened?
Hey, that's what happens. It's a 500-mile race. That's why I kind of like those. That's why I like the Coca-Cola 600. I mean, they are a little bit longer, but I kind of like. I mean, you know how much I like the 24 hours of Le Mans and the Rolex at Daytona, right? I mean, I love my damn racing, and I feel like I like it when it becomes more of like an endurance type thing. I mean, if it wasn't 500 miles, don't get me wrong, that thing was a snooze fest. Maybe not for you, but Jesus, thank God it was 500 miles. There was a little bit of action. I mean, I don't know how much Logano did it, but you look at what happened to what did Larson do in the first stage to keep his teammate Chase on the lead lap. He slowed it down so Chase wouldn't lose a lap and what have you. So teammates, that's what friends are for.
I know.
You know what I
mean?
Dude,
I was so pissed. I wanted to text you. I was like, oh my God, stop blocking him. Get the hell out of the way.
But how much was he blocking him though?
I know.
He was that far ahead of him, and if Larson's car was that good, how could he have not passed the last car on the lead lap? So I don't know how much blocking it was, more of like taking the air off of Larson's car, if you consider that blocking. But I mean, he's just racing. If Larson can't pass him because he's taking the air off his car, then obviously Larson's car just wasn't strong enough at the end.
It's like 2% me getting pissed off, at Logano, and like 90%. Yes, I know it was his car.
And what was the gap though? Didn't he have like a 2-3 second gap on Blaney with 30 laps or something? So for Blaney to cut that gap that fast with like less than 40-ish, 30-ish laps, I thought that was pretty impressive. Yeah. Nonetheless, because it's kind of hard to close that gap when it's dwindling down these laps in these races, and the damn lead car has better air, which I guess he didn't. If you want to say Logano was taking it off of him, but
welcome to the chat on Twitch, Sean, high school alum, fellow 05er, DJ Gungeon, Mr. Patel. Thank you so much for coming in.
Up,
his chat is.
Thank you guys. Welcome in.
His chat is one emoji, and it's Dale.
Dale, that's right. Hey, thank you.
He knows.
Let's give a shout out to him, Mr. 99 from Monterrey, Mexico, Daniel Suarez with Trackhouse.
Where did he finish? 10?
No, because he had that speeding penalty.
That's right. But he was in the top 10 like the whole damn day.
But what did I text you at the middle of the day? What I said, I was like, the best thing about 99. This race was seeing that damn 99, not just because that was my old car number that I loved, but just to see Suarez and that small team just being able to do something on 1.5 miles, especially on a track that just kills your tires. And man, shout out Daniel Suarez and Mr. Pitbull and Trackhouse over there for putting a damn good product on the track that day. So Trackhouse. But yeah, man.
It's gonna be fun. It's something we've never seen before, on the dirt. So it's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna sit back and relax and hope that my boy Kyle Larson. I wish I could wear my hat, but it's a special event thing, and I still haven't even gotten any updates on when I'm gonna get that damn hat. I bought it in
And
like
so,
January, February, and I think I'm not even getting it until the middle or the end of April. So I don't know.
and And unfortunately for our fan on Twitch, though, something else he might not have ever seen before is Daniel Suarez at 150 to 1 to win this dirt race at Bristol. So the Food City Dirt Race, Bristol Motor Speedway. Make sure
Let's
you tune
go.
in this Sunday, Fox Sports, noon p.m. Pacific, 3 Eastern.
Hell yeah. But thank you so much for everyone who's in the chat so far right now. But that is the end of the sports section. So we're going to go ahead and take like a 2-minute break and come back for the comic book section / entertainment. But this has been the Comic Bookies podcast so far, brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you so much.
Stick around. We got the cut talk.
Be right back.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in, subscribing, following. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can listen to us. We record live, but this audio will go out to iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, radio.com app, wherever you get your freaking podcasts. Please listen, subscribe, and rate us too. Give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star review. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what we're doing right. Hit us up, email us at thecomicbookies@gmail.com. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Fellas, let's get into some comic books, huh?
I think this might be the first time I've ever listened to a podcast that they said give us a 1-star, give themselves a 1-star review.
Well, hey, you know what?
That's how honest we are here at the Comic Bookies podcast, fans.
Exactly. So, hey, so let's get into some comic books, fellas. So, like we do every week for people who are just tuning in for the first time, again, thank you so much for tuning in and chatting with us. What we like to do first is talk about the comic books that came out today. New Comic Book Day, especially the big ass previews book. I love it. I love flipping through that. Let's do it. So on the DC side, I kind of go through a little bit of not every single book, but some of them. So DC Detective Comics and Action Comics are both back, 1034 and 1029 respectively. The White Knight, Harley Quinn #6, Teen Titans Academy #1, and Harley Quinn #1. So 2 Harley Quinn books that come out today. Mark with that variant cover looks bad as hell. Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man 62, Excalibur 19, Mark Miles Morales Spider-Man 24. And then 2 books we also picked up, Alien #1, and then Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #1. Mark, you also got that A cover for that one. And some of these small-time publishers, Image, you got HaHa #3, Our Scumbag #6, and Stray Dogs #2. AWA, one of our favorite small-time publishers, Year Zero Volume 2 #5, and over on Boom Studios, Power Rangers 5, and a really, really, really popular one right now, Once and Future #17. So, fellas, plenty of books to get into. Run down a couple that you're excited for this week, or give me one that you really like to read from last week. Give it to me.
For this week, it's funny because I think we all agreed, man. Teen Titans Academy, I think, especially for Mike and I, because we read Strange Academy, kind of had that, hey, it's going to kind of be the DC version. And I'm already kind of like, you know what? Good energy. There it is. Mike is showing it. And awesome that the author for the book, the writer, did follow us. Correct me, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, Tim Sheridan followed us back on Instagram. So that was pretty cool. That's like one of those moments where I'm like, what? No way. It must be a different Tim Sheridan.
Though, bro. But you know what? Looking at the cover and how badass it is, I am excited for Carnage, man. I know, Woody Harrelson's going to probably kick ass in that movie when it finally does come out. And you know what, man? Like that, it just has that look on the cover like, okay, that's that one right there. So I'm very excited for those specifically.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm excited for, like you said, Sean, really Carnage. I'm really more excited because I feel like it's something that I can finally get into more of the Marvel scene again. As the comic fans here know that I'm kind of lackluster on the damn Marvel books, but nonetheless, I do have 2 to read this week with Miles Morales, and another one did come out, I believe, as well, guys. Alien, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe an Alien book came out. I did not pick it up. Kind of had a couple too many this week already, but
is Arnold going to be in it?
Go Chargers, go. No, but I'm excited. I know we talked about it during the week about with the Harley Quinn. Sometimes I feel kind of for not getting that much Harley Quinn when I first started doing this podcast to getting it so much now, but sometimes I feel Harley'd out. But I'm kind of more excited to see how the story builds on this character, really, because I mean, I'm not so much excited to pick up another book, if you will, but I think that it's going to be kind of fun with the way that we saw Tynion kind of transform Harley into the way that she was at the end of the Joker War and whatnot. And I think that going forward with her kind of doing the whole switch up, maybe being kind of more on broke Bruce's side now and whatnot, I think it's going to be kind of a fun story. Nonetheless, it might get me more in tune with the backstory, not the backstories, excuse me, but the little extra spin-off story coming off on the end of these episodes, books, issues. Because, Robin that Robin was on Batman, right? And now Robin is going to be in Detective.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pick up another book to get that. We talked about it on episode 104. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm pulling Harley Quinn right now, number one. Just number one. Don't know if I'm going to pull the whole series. It is an ongoing series. I'm going to have to make a decision on that based on maybe how these first 2 or 3 books go. But I'm excited for that story, man. I really am. Excited to see, like Sean said, or like you mentioned earlier in Scumbag. I pulled up the cover again. Don't know this man for watching the Mayans and now watching this damn Scumbag cover. It's a pretty little bit of resemblance, but
is that Coco on the cover?
Yeah, Coco, right? Crazy, man.
I think if I were to give maybe my top 3, I'd probably Carnage, probably Black, White, and Blood. I'm pretty excited for. It's only 4 issues too, so I'm over the last 6 months or so, I'm really into just these quick hitters. 6 months or less, get me the hell out of this story. The Scumbag, obviously, and then actually top 3, my third one. I'm glad that Detective and Action are back, but dude, I love previews, bro. I love previews, man. I mean, I know these books aren't coming out until like June or whatever, but to flip through the Marvel and knowing that I may or may not even get one, and the big-ass previews book, and then I jump over online to the DC Connect, man, I love doing that, putting together my little list and just getting excited for – it's like when you go to a movie theater and you're going to see like Avengers Infinity War Endgame, but then you get super, super excited about a preview that you just watched for something else. It's like, I'm really excited to read Scumbag and Detective and Action, but I'm really, really excited about this new story that I'm going to grab come June, That's what I feel.
But speaking about come June, that's a couple months from now. That's how I feel about damn Action and Detective as I'm holding them up here now. But I'm excited to actually get these 2 damn books back. Probably Detective more so than Action. I was really having a lot of fun with Detective with who was writing it again? Jesus. Tomasi, Tynion and Tomasi, that's right, TNT. So Tomasi, he's not on it anymore. I see here, unless it's a one-off, but it went from Tomasi to Tamaki.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, Josh Williamson is co-writing this specific issue, but then Tamaki's going to be the sole writer, I believe, going forward. I think I did a little deep dive and research as to a couple issues ahead.
Yeah, so it's a whole damn different switch up with Philip Kennedy Johnson on the damn Action Comics 1029.
Yep, who's also on Superman. So it's like a Bendis. Bendis was on both of them, and now he's on both Action and Superman.
And hopefully oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. So do you like him as a writer? Is he pretty good?
I actually had no idea. Oh, sorry. If everyone heard that, that's my desk. It's an electric desk. It would just, went up higher. But no, actually, I didn't know really who he was. I don't think I've ever read anything that he's written. But I enjoyed the Superman one. It's got legs to have a good story arc. So I didn't hate, the Superman that I read from last week.
As excited I am for these stories, I just hope that they're good, because don't get me wrong. I mean, as good, it's hard to drop Action, man. 1029, that just tells you how long they've been around, right? So it's kind of hard to drop Action, but I feel like give me something I want, Action, because I'll damn drop you for that damn Harley, man. I don't give a damn.
I think for as long as I'm going to be a comic book fan, I don't think I will ever, unless like the writer did something really bad, like I don't even want to say it.
That's how I feel.
I don't want to say it, but I would think I will ever drop Batman, Superman, Action, Detective. Never. If I'm only reading 4 stories for the rest of my life, those 4 are going to be the 4. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. I'm more into the Detective than I am with the Action. But with Action kind of paving the way, and, Action has that damn history behind it. It's just so hard to stray away from it too much. But, thanks to our sponsorship. Thank you, Treasure Island Comics. Once again, this podcast always comes to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Yep. So thank you, Alex, again. But
and for those of you who are listening right now, watching, and don't know who Alex is, you'll get to know him a little bit in 2 weeks, because on Wednesday, April 7th, we are happy to have Alex on for, I believe, the 3rd time. But we're going to try to get him on for everyone and for ourselves, actually, because to actually talk to someone who's actually smart in the comics world, and
knows people, got connections.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're going to try to get him on like once a quarter. So I think we had him on in January. So of course he'll be on in April again. So, but from last week, fellas, what was your favorite, one or two books from last week and why, man?
I liked Variant Black, man. I know I got the
Tell us about it, Sean.
episode, the issue 1, and I got the issue 2, and I really liked it, man. It really built off the first issue really, really well. There's a couple cops that do know who the character is, that he is actually the Variant Black hero, and we actually got introduced to the quote-unquote villain, so there's actually another variant out there. So pretty much the cops are kind of working cohesively among the couple that do know who the Variant Black is, the hero. Kind of like, hey, we kind of could use you in this city. And, he's kind of goes coincide with him living with his parents. He doesn't have a job. He's trying to just find his way. And he tells his dad, hey, I found maybe my niche. I found my thing. It doesn't pay. He doesn't tell his dad it, but in his head, he's like, I'm going to be a hero. There'll be something good, maybe some good karma that comes with it. But yeah, like, oh no, really fun story so far. I'm liking it. Okay. I haven't checked how many total issues there's going to be. But we are 2 in. I'll actually probably double check while we're talking right now. But I'll definitely be getting number 3. I'm liking it really.
Yeah. If it's at least 6, then you'll probably find it in this month's previews, and then it'll say like, oh, coming in June, like Radiant Black number 6 of something. If it doesn't say anything, then there's no plans on stopping anytime soon. It'll be at least 12 or whatever. But Mark, something that you really liked from last week reading. I know you mentioned
I didn't get much last week, so I mean, other than Red Atlantis finishing up, pretty good story. Wasn't too big on how it finished, but the one thing that it did finish, it kind of left me thinking if it was gonna have a different like sequel to it, but probably not. Once again, the story was by Stephanie Phillips, Robert Carey. Pretty good story, kind of like based on the Cold War from like Russia and how this chick has these powers because of her parents, and her grandma pretty much kidnaps her and whatnot. But not the best, but not the worst. I'll tell you that much. By Aftershock, just ended 5 issues. Read that last week. And of course, Hot Valley Days and Cocaina Nights, Mikey. I was trying to figure out the name of the girl because it says the true story of Janie, and you can kind of see the name. It looks like Dorsey or Borsey or I don't know. And I Googled her name to see if it was going to pop up. Couldn't really find anything. I wanted to see how I wanted to know if I could. I mean, it's based on a true story, right? So I wanted to see like the actual true story, right? I mean, the comic is obviously, the comic, it's like the movie. You don't ever get the actual damn true story, but it was actually really, really good, Mike.
I enjoyed
these 3 issues. I know it could have been, I mean, like you said, kind of like a Blow type of theme, but with a female base. But I could see this kind of being like a 12-issue series. 3 seems kind of like short for me. They could have built this story.
Yeah.
Because, in these issues, they went back and forth a lot. Present, past, 1984, my favorite year, right? 19, whatever. But they kept going back and forth throughout all these 3 issues. If you extended the issues out a couple more, make it 6, make it 8, now you're not having to go back and forth. You could select one issue to one member to one story, not really have to intertwine them all. But
they did. I'm thoroughly enjoying these 6-issue miniseries. But like this one specifically, it was so good, but they went Source Point Press on us, or AWA. There's like, why do you only have to make it like a 3 or 4 issue miniseries? You could have, exactly. Like, give me a 6 or an 8 right there, So
speaking of Source Point Press, and you mentioned earlier Power Rangers. Do we have a little bit of news from one of our favorite writers here that joins the show on a bi-yearly basis, it seems like,
man? Yeah, that's right. Frank Gogol from Source Point Press, he's currently writing Dead End Kid's Suburban Job. He just got put on to Power Rangers, and I forgot, the Dark Ranger, it's like Power Rangers and then colon something. It's like a different story. It's not like legit just Power Rangers. I forgot what it was, but he's writing a Power Ranger story. So
that is awesome,
how he posted it, it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Buffy, Power Rangers. So put a little check mark on one of his lifelong goals is to write.
And if we go back and listen to the episode that he was on with us last, I could have sworn that he said something that he kind of had something in the works. He was talking to someone, but he couldn't really mention it. I wonder if that's what it was, man. Because congratulations,
out of the hat, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because ever since I met him, Cape and Cowl Comics shot out another comic store out there Although we don't have a sponsorship from them yet.
In California, baby.
You're right. Let's get sponsorships from all the comic book stores in the greater Bay Area region. But nonetheless, when I met him out there, Sean, you were with me. Mike, you couldn't make it that day for some reason. I forgot why, but I remember him always saying that like Power Rangers was kind of his thing, and it's kind of crazy to like be able to write it now. I mean, I don't know how he pulled that one off, if he kind of with them. I think they're being written by Boom, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think it's Boom. So I don't know if you just contact Boom if he's got his connections, but nonetheless, shout out Mr. Frank Gogol for, like Mike said, one of your lifelong dreams, I'm sure, to write the Power Rangers, man. Yeah. Now that looks like we're going to have to be picking up Power Rangers books, guys.
I know. Yeah. Well, even thinking about the first time that we interviewed him, it's funny you're saying all that because I'm just like, it's all coming back to my head. So I remember like vividly, he was saying he loved reading Power Rangers stories. So it's crazy, like you said, now he's actually writing them. I mean, and for us, man, this is a show we used to watch when we were younger. To say that, like, hey, we're going to be able to interview, one of the writers of the future Power Ranger stories, man, that's pretty awesome. So, again, congrats to Frank, big time, man. We'll definitely have you up here soon.
Yep.
We didn't just used to watch it, right? We didn't just used to watch it. I mean, Power Rangers was the shit back then. You know what I mean? Like it was huge back then in our day. So yeah. And it's still going. So congratulations, Frank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I did like Brian Michael Bendis's first issue of Justice League. It was kind of like a slow burn. We saw Naomi at the end, with Black Adam. So definitely something like you're definitely going to have to go on and on. They're not, because you saw the Justice League, which was pretty cool. You saw Black Canary, you saw Flash, you saw, Green Arrow and everyone. Like the Justice League was like whole, but the other heroes, so to speak, that are on the front cover, they haven't, gotten into the Justice League just yet, so you're going to have to go forward and read issues. But man, the Justice League Dark issue that was after the Justice League, that was way better with like Merlin and stuff, and like what he's going to unleash. He's going to unleash like a combination of heaven and hell via Jason Blood and stuff. That was a dope ass issue, with John Constantine and Zatanna. And that's actually going to lead into some news that we have coming up soon. But the one book that I was like mind blown, it wasn't even on my pull list. I just went in there and I figured, I only have like 4 books. I'm going to get a couple books for my daughter and then pick this one up over on the Skybound side of Image. Did you guys see this? Ultra Mega?
I did see that.
So this is one of the few stories that you pick up and it's like, oh my God, $8? What the hell? But it's $8. It's double the size. It's like 60 pages and it is well worth the damn read. I felt like I was reading like a Black Hammer book. It was so crazy. Like pretty much the quick synopsis of the story is like, of course, just like a lot of these stories nowadays, there's a plague, there's a virus going around, and a lot of people who are getting infected are turning into like these nasty like monster looking things. So people on live, you can see, I never know how to turn this damn thing. It's like opposite. See that thing? It's like nasty and they're eating different people and stuff. So this power that gives the power of the Ultra Mega to like 3 different heroes, right? And so he's just a regular dude, and he sees, there's one instance where he saves a kid from one of these nasty things, and then lo and behold, there's a little side story. He left his first wife. He has a wife and a son, a baby son, but he left his first wife because she got the virus. And as she was changing, he got her pregnant. And so the thing living inside her and now in the basement of her house is this like huge freaking thing. And now he's like all grown up and it looks like freaking doomsday. And so now he's come back to seek revenge on his father, kill his father and everything. And it's just a big bloody battle with it ended up all 3 of them dying, all the Ultra Megas. So it was, and then the end of the story, but like look at this one right here. This is one of the Ultra Megas on the top of like an Empire State Building. Look at his guts just hanging out like that.
Oh, so it's gruesome.
Yeah, it's a badass book. And it pretty much ends with the epilogue of the issue. It seemed like it was a whole story in one, and like each story after that's going to be something different. But some kid, he finds one of the pieces of armor that he had, and he kind of, I think, turns himself into the next Ultra Mega. So awesome book. It is $7.99, but I think it's worth it. Like the other history of the DC universe, that one's worth the $7.99. Some of those tie-ins from Future State that were $6.99 were not worth it whatsoever, but this one was dope. So rant over.
I like it, brother. I know I've seen that one. Yeah, I might have to check that out.
Yeah,
I like that.
But that's pretty much it for my comic book side, because last week, second week in a row, was a shorter stack. This week was kind of a short stack too, but I ended up picking up a few other ones. Like we picked up the Carnage
Some goodies,
and the Alien
though.
one, so we have plenty to talk to next week for sure. But if we're done with comics, I think we can move on to some of the quick hitting comic book entertainment news stories. I have some stuff. Sean, you have some stuff as well. But just some quick hitters. DC Films is reportedly making a Zatanna movie, leading into the Zatanna news. Emerald Fennell, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's an up-and-coming female writer. She's writing the movie. She co-wrote on Killing Eve, the show. I believe it was a sci-fi. I forgot what channel it was. But she also played Camilla Parker Bowles on The Crown on Netflix, one of my wife's favorite shows, in season 3. So not only is she an actress, but she's also writing now, so that's pretty cool. More DC news. The CW recasts Kate Kane Batwoman. Wallace Day. I couldn't really read too far into the article because they said that, this is going to go, this is spoilers for the episodes ahead. So Ruby Rose is out. Didn't think that they were going to actually find her because supposedly she's dead, but then she's not dead. She was kidnapped. That's how far I am. But Wallace Day, I forgot her name in the show, but she was on that show Krypton on Sci-Fi, which I don't know why they canceled it. It was actually one of my favorite shows after the second season. And then finally
That's why they canceled it.
I know, right? Just like my sports teams can never win, win championships. Just, all my
cancel them. They just cancel you, bro.
You can't cancel.
It's cancel culture, bro.
Oh, quiet. Aaron.
There it is.
Aaron just joined the chat. What's up, boys? What's up, Aaron? How's it going, man?
Hey, Ron.
What's
Welcome
up,
in.
Hey, Ron. But finally, for myself, Berserker. There's a film and an anime series announced for Netflix. Don't know when that's going to be, but like I told you guys, I don't know if that would have been ever made, comic book and TV or anime, if Keanu Reeves isn't attached to it. But hey, whatever. That's not my decision. So hopefully that's good. Hopefully issue 2 of Berserker is better, and hopefully the TV show and anime is good too.
Well, you know who else is attached to it? Our guy Matt Kent.
That's right.
Although we did not get a follow yet from unlike the other writer that you just mentioned earlier, we did get a comment though on Twitter. So
that's right.
Matt Kent doing big things with Keanu Reeves and Berserker and trying to go motion picture on them, I guess, or Netflix. I mean, but nonetheless, man, if we can try to work some magic to get him on for the fans, we'll really be doing things, man.
Just get Keanu. Why not, man?
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah.
Sean, you got some news,
I mean,
brother?
he was over here in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Shooting those films, like everyone kept running into him in the city or whatnot.
Yeah,
so
he was shooting the Matrix.
He's around,
man.
He's
shooting the Matrix.
We can get him. Forget calling in. We can get him in the studio live.
Get him in the Batcave, right?
Right.
Sean, you got some news, bro?
Yeah, 2 super quick things, and it kind of leads into 2 of the more exciting things that we are going to talk about with the Falcon Winter Soldier. It was the most streamed ever opening episode for a Disney Plus show, including WandaVision and Mandalorian. They beat them both out.
Yeah.
For Disney Plus.
Why is that? I want your thoughts.
The hype, they're riding the train from WandaVision into this.
WandaVision. Exactly.
Oh, okay. 10-4.
And then, was it Justice League? God, brain fart. Just the biggest thing we're going to talk about. Justice League, the streams were just below Wonder Woman 84. But then again, that was just for an opening weekend. And since I know they've just blown up. And I think what Mike said is pretty much, it kind of hits it on the head. It did its job. I think it did surpass Falcon Winter Soldier for opening weekend streams, which is great. I know we're going to talk about it eventually, but damn, 4 hours of greatness, I must say.
Yeah, no, really good. Sean, you had another piece of news with a former James Bond actor.
God, I almost felt I was going to leave that out. I thought you would have brought it up, but I guess I have to because it is Pierce Bronson. And it's funny, I watched Mamma Mia yesterday with my wife.
Oh, my God.
And he was in it, and it's so crazy that she loves that guy. And I was saying, well, I know him for freaking GoldenEye. I don't know about no freaking Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he will be playing a certain character, which Mike knows, I think, a little bit better than I do, and it will be in Black Adam. So he'll be joining up with the People's Champ, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Black Adam. So super awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Go
ahead.
No, you go ahead. I just want to say something about Pierce.
Oh, no. No, go ahead. You go ahead. I'll get into it.
There's 2 times I remember Pierce Brosnan every time I think of that damn dude. It's that damn GoldenEye, like you mentioned, right? The damn the video. I mean, one of the best first person shooter games ever.
N64, right? Baby, come on now.
I mean, lay the pavement, right? Lay the path for greatness, right? And then the other one that I think about is that in the GoldenEye movie, when he does the dude wants the cigarette, he's looking for a light, and then Brosnan tries to act like he's got a lighter, and he goes like this, shows him his fist. Bah! Just knocks him. You guys don't remember that? Dude, I love that scene. He hears he's gonna pretend to light his cigarette. Bah! Knocks him out, bro. Bronson's was so sick.
I thought you were gonna say your two experiences were James Bond and then Mrs. Doubtfire. That's where I remember him too.
That's right.
Where he's trying to date Sally Fields, Robin Williams' ex-wife. Dude, that was hella funny. And he throws the lime. Oh, sir, I saw it.
He's choking. And Doubtfire's
Help is on the way,
that's freaking awesome. That's right. I almost forgot about Brosnan in that one, but you're right. Brosnan's not bad, so I'm glad to see him getting casted for some DC stuff, man.
Give us a little scoop, Mike. Who is he actually playing? I'm
Dr.
actually
Fate.
Dr.
Fate. So he joins Dr. Fate. Cyclone, Hawkman is going to be in this movie. There's a bunch of good heavy hitters going to be in this Black Adam movie. And I hope it leads into something, of course, with Shazam, but maybe even something in some kind of DCEU. But like I said, too, Dr. Fate, you can open up a can of worms for Justice League Dark. You can have a John Constantine, you can have a Zatanna, you can have Swamp Thing, Detective Chimp, you can have Dead Man, you can have all these different characters who have been in a Justice League Dark.
Detective Chimp,
Undertaker's going to be in it.
Oh hell yeah,
Detective Chimp, bro.
Dude, I mean, like what I've been reading over the last,
Sean, Sean, you have any info on Detective Chimp for me?
Some Bobo action?
That's a new one, man.
No, but going back to Pierce Brosnan.
Is he in the encyclopedia here, Mike?
Bring out the encyclopedia.
Yeah, he would be.
Do I gotta bust it out, the encyclopedia here?
Dude, so, no, going back to Pierce Brosnan, though, I love that part. He throws the lime at him, and he's like, oh, sir, I saw it. An angry member of the kitchen staff. Did you not tip them? But, those are the kinds of scenes, you don't hear it when you're a kid, but then you hear it now, and he goes, it was a run by fruiting. I was like, oh, my God. You hear it now, and it's just, I'm busting ass, bro.
Yes, to all the listeners, what you just said did happen. Mike can, I swear, memorize any line from any movie, and he will, I swear, say it exactly how the person says it with English accent.
No, it was hella funny. And then he goes, and then the guy's, and he sits down, and he goes, loser. And then the guy looks at him, and in his man voice, the hell are you looking at? But he's dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh my God, one of my favorite all-time movies. R.I.P. Robin Williams. But that's pretty much it for the quick hitters. Now let's move on to the big pieces of news. Sean, Falcon Winter Soldier. You can tell they spent the money. They spent millions of dollars on this show, the opening scene and everything. But so it went from all this. The action, and then of course Winter Soldier's nightmare of action. But then it comes back to the shrimp boat. You're on Forrest Gump, you get the shrimp boat, and he's trying to save it, him and his sisters and their families, their shrimp boat, their shrimping business and everything. And then, of course, Winter Soldier, he's in therapy. So how did you like the first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier?
You know what? It's funny because I think of WandaVision and kind of the slow start, and then I think of Falcon Winter Soldier, and it was kind of the opposite. It got right into depth of both characters. You exactly got to see Falcon and his sister trying to save the boat, going to, trying to get a loan, all these different aspects of that, their relationship. Then you see Winter Soldier, and you see, when he's actually, the Winter Soldier, he kills this, this guy, and at the end, it goes full circle. At the end of that episode, I lost my mind, bro. I was just straight up freaking. mind.
I had a feeling. You know, I should be a writer for these shows because I look over at Danielle and I'm like, why is he taking this guy to lunch? Like why? I was like, dude, what if he killed? Like, what if that was his like son or whatever? Because he says, oh, my son was killed. I never knew what happened. I was like, dude, there it is. I should be writing for these goddamn things. I'm not trying to, you know, pat myself on the back, but come on now, like that was. But it was also a start to a good story, you know.
And that's what it is, bro. I think that, you know, again, you know, freaking Disney, Marvel, they just do such a great job to show kind of like more than just a character, more than just a Falcon, more than just a Winter Soldier. And you just see even like Winter Soldier in therapy, and you just see like kind of just not their evolution into the character they are yet. I mean, who knows what the future episodes are going to hold, but just showing more of them outside of being really just the heroes that they are, man. I love that aspect of it because this isn't just nonstop, you know, Falcon kicking George St. Pierre's ass on a helicopter. Or
GSP's like back. But isn't it cool? Because like when they talk about his nightmare and he goes to therapy and everything, it's kind of dealing with his grief, his PTSD, and like that's what like WandaVision did. So you have a lot of these similar themes where you have action, but then you have, you know, them dealing with themselves being human. You know, you have Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson, right? Is that his last name? I think it's Sam Wilson. Him and his sister go to the bank. They try to get a loan, and he goes, like, I'm sorry, you don't have any income for the last 5 years because they were blipped, you know? And it's like they have to deal with that. And so their business might go under and everything. They're dealing with real life stuff. And at the same time, you have to deal with this like cult, this flag smasher cult who like, it felt to me like it was one of those things, those flash mobs where everyone gets together and they dance at the same time. Like everyone got the ping and then everyone just started running a different way. And it was some terrorist group is wreaking havoc. That guy gets his face smashed in. Just, oh man. Yeah.
Bro, smashed. Yeah. I do got to say my one quick thing before we get to the next exciting topic. Bro, I'm not going to lie. I was on Twitter the day before I watched the episode. I can't remember the day I watched it, but I seen, you know, the Captain America, we slated Captain
US
America.
Agent.
Okay, bro, I'm not even going to front, dude. When I seen the picture on Twitter, I didn't actually read into it, and I seen like something that said Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, who the hell is this flea market Captain America? Like, the hell is this right here?
Like, though? You know his last name is?
Don't even
the
say
actor's last name is Russell. It's Kurt Russell's son who plays U.S. Agent. And I didn't know until, of course, because, you know, of course, me being not a classic Marvel book reader, I have to look it up after. And apparently that he's an actual, like, Marvel character. His name's, like, U.S. Agent or whatever. So I don't know if he's, like, a wannabe Captain America or just, like, a stand-in kind of guy. But, yeah, he looked like a friggin' dweeb for sure.
Just that dweeby smile, little watered down cost. It's not doing it for me right now, but it kind of had a good laugh at the end. So I'm excited for the next episode. Sure. It's doing it so far, bro.
So we are proud to bring you for the next, 10, 15, 20 minutes, a conversation where Mark can actually jump in with us as far as watching something.
Well, the conversation I want to jump in with you is
Detective Chimp, Mark.
Detective Chipmunk. For all you fans out there, Detective Chip or whatever, Chipmunk. Yeah, Detective Chip is not in the damn encyclopedia, but
boo.
So yeah, boo. But since we are on March Madness, and since our little team down there from the central southern coast of California, the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos, there is El Gaucho. Vital stats. Let me read them to you. Santiago Vargas. Occupation: hero, wealthy socialite. Height: 6 feet 1 inches. Weight: 215 pounds. From Buenos Aires, Argentina. His allies are Batman Incorporated, the Club of Heroes. His foes are the Club of Villains, Leviathan, Dr. Hunt, Scorpiana, and El Sombrero. Powers and abilities: highly trained hand-to-hand combat, usually drives motorcycle during missions, intelligent, and extremely wealthy. Ladies and gentlemen, comic bookie fans, this is El Gaucho.
Okay.
So
is that like a new segment now or something? We're gonna go.
You know what? We should have a segment of like a comic book character you thought you knew but you didn't know or whatever, and here it is.
No, I like that.
El Gaucho.
So
I love it, Mark. You just created something,
So here's Detective Chimp.
I'm a creator of content, baby. That's what I'm about.
So here's Detective Chimp. Is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. A common chimpanzee who wears a deerstalker hat, which is the Sherlock Holmes hat. Detective Chimp has human-level intelligence and solves crimes, often with the help of the Bureau of Amplified Animals, a group of intelligent animals that also includes Rex the Wonder Dog. He was originally created in the final years of the Golden Age of comic books during the interregnum, between the former and the Silver Age of comic books. His initial appearance in Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog, he continued to appear in that title as a backup feature until 1959, at which point he faded into obscurity. So, he
looks kind of dope. Dope.
He had a brief cameo with Simon Simeon in Gorilla City during 1985's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Following these appearances, Bobo started appearing in DC titles with some regularity, appearing in issues of Green Lantern, The Flash, and other titles. This eventually led to prominent roles in the 2005 Day of Vengeance miniseries and subsequently as a regular in its spin-off series Shadow Pact. The character has gone on to guest star in other DC comic titles, which the Justice League Dark, which I read a few years ago. So yeah.
How is he not in the damn encyclopedia then? Damn. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, for him being like his first appearance like 1952 and everything too. So yeah. So there's Detective Chimp. There is El Gaucho. So Mark, I'm gonna
Chipmunk.
You lead into it, bro. The Snyder cut, bro. Let's do it. Snyder cut. I thought it was great. I thought it was a slow burn.
We gotta give it a better one than that. And ladies and gentlemen, the time has come.
And Mark is actually going to jump on with us to talk about something that we watched over the weekend.
The Snyder cut.
Yeah. So it was awesome. And it's not going to happen probably. But Alex at Treasure Island is going to start a movement for them to keep going with the Snyderverse and to continue the story. But I thought personally,
is that his movement?
Yeah, if you see on Instagram and stuff, he's starting this movement. We're all going to watch it again, like tomorrow or like this weekend simultaneously, and we're all going to tweet like the same hashtag simultaneously. Blah blah blah. He's trying to start like this movement for him to get money to continue the story and to finish those two other movies he wanted to. But bro, the first 2 hours, it was kind of a slow burn. It was something that I was like, okay, this is similar to like the first Justice League and everything. Like we saw the slow motion scene with the Flash and everything. We saw more of the character development with Cyborg. But dude, everything about Steppenwolf was way better. The whole battle on Themyscira, where he just totally took out the whole like temple that they were holding the mother box in, was badass as hell. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna say my whole throughout the whole movie. I'm gonna let you guys cut in. But yeah, let's get into it.
I think they filled in all the gaps of the first movie. And that's one thing I really, really enjoyed. Bro, I am so spoiled working from home because I'm not going to lie, bro. Once I got online and I got through my 8 o'clock meeting, it was time to watch the movie. So I watched it. And I think to what obviously Alex feels, our sponsor at Treasure Island Comic, what Mike feels, and I'm sure what Mark feels, it was just a damn good movie. I can't really justify too many movies being 4 hours, but with this movie, you didn't really feel in many aspects it was 4 hours because it was really good. Similar to what Mike said in the beginning, it was a little bit of a slow burner, but there was so much good character development in that, especially with Cyborg. I thoroughly enjoyed how Cyborg was included in that movie and just the action scenes, man. I think there is just so much development with obviously Darkseid and what they could do in the future. The dream at the end of the movie where we seen a Joker. We also seen Lex Luthor on a boat with Deathstroke. So there's just so many possibilities of what can happen going forward. So I think similar to what we've all said, it's like you got to get this movement going and continue these movies. And let's make it clear. This isn't to compete with Marvel. This is their own thing. They're going to do it how they're going to do it. And I mean, as fans, just ride the high, man, because it was freaking awesome. It was hella good.
Just a quick mention on the Marvel, because we're on DC now, but quick mention to Marvel. You had 2017 was Justice League, and Infinity War and Endgame were more of a DC film as far as the darkness and like the drama of it, and not like kind of like what Marvel was the other previous 18 or 19 movies. It was definitely darker, and it was more like a Justice League, in my opinion.
100% agree with you, bro. That definitely hits it on the head. I mean, just between the action. I mean, I even heard freaking Batman say "fuck" in the dream. I mean, sorry, I don't know if I should say that,
right.
But you know what I'm saying, though. You felt it in the movie. So, no, man, it was a good one, and I'm very happy for the next segment that Mark gets to talk about it because he did watch it with us.
Which segment are you alluding to, Mr. Sean Powers?
Well, you being able to chime in on this one, brother, because usually, you know, when it comes to streaming, it's Mike and I, but we have a Marcus on it.
The CGI. Or you want me to talk about the CGI? You want me to talk? I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I think that if I was to buy stock right now on the DC extended universe, if you will, I definitely would. I think that they've lagged. They've been the laggard in the space, if you want to talk about the market and whatnot. But hey, nonetheless, I think that they might have learned a little bit from letting Marvel kind of pioneer this whole universe type ordeal with the comic book characters and whatnot. So I think Time Warner, HBO, whoever the hell, everybody that's producing these damn shows and movies and cuts, I think that they've learned a lot. I think that I'm excited for where it's going to go. I'm excited for the Flash movie, Sean. I really am. I think that they left out exactly what they needed to leave out. We obviously got a little bit of the Cyborg backstory, Mr. Stone and his dad. I mean, dude, you know what? Now that I think about it, they did do a pretty good job on that character, you know, and I think Mike mentioned it, but I think that's why. Like, I think the actor that played his dad, the actor that played him, pretty good, right? I really enjoy the dad working at the lab. And, you know, this goes back, even though I have the encyclopedia here, it just goes back to Cyborg's just not much of a character that I gave a damn about. Really didn't. Little backstory from him. And, dude, like, I'm kind of excited about him, you know? It's just, I didn't think you had to use, I didn't know that you had to use so much CGI for his character. I actually had no idea before the movie that
super badass.
He's pretty much damn a machine. I didn't realize that, but you gave a lot of Cyborg's backstory, especially with his dad finding the box or whatever and melting it to make him Superman, not Superman, but Super Cyborg, because of obviously he got in that accident with might be spoiling it here, sorry fans, but yeah, nonetheless, if you guys haven't watched it yet, it's your bad, because I think I like that backstory. So we're obviously not going to get an origin story on Cyborg, but we are going to get one on Barry Allen. As much as you don't want to hear it, Mikey, we are.
Yeah. There needs to be, because specifically, like I agree with you. What we were talking about yesterday, I feel that people should know who Barry Allen is because he's been such a prominent character in the DC universe. But yeah, but you're correct in saying that we need a little bit of a backstory on Barry Allen, the Flash, if we're going to tell a Flashpoint story. Because what he does is he pretty much creates the multiverse. He pretty much goes back in time just to save one person, his mother, and fans who are going to be there watching the movie, they need to know why. They need to know why. Oh, his mom's dead. Oh, well, what I'm saying. So they need to get that kind of a backstory. But what was it, like 10 minutes was in slow motion of the movie?
It was at least 10 minutes. I've seen that tweet on it.
Yeah, but just not a disappointment because I can't really nitpick. If I'm nitpicking, I wanted more Joker. I wanted more Martian Manhunter. I wanted more Deathstroke. I wanted more Green Lantern. I didn't get anything. Green Lantern, he shot the construct out of his ring, and then you didn't even see what the construct was.
I seen that.
It could have been a hammer. It could have been two hands clapping on a parademon or whatever. And the only other scene after that was when Bruce was having his first nightmare, and then you saw all the people just laying there dead. One of them was Kilowog, one of the most prominent Green Lanterns, if you're familiar with the Green Lantern Corps. But yeah, I wish those side characters, they were like, oh my God, we're finally getting this. I wish there was more of it, So that's one big reason why I think that they should continue this saga.
Oh, go ahead.
I think they need to continue putting Wonder Woman in these damn movies. That's for damn sure.
She's badass, man.
Good Gal.
Like that beginning scene. Gal Gadot.
Gal go.
Guys, how badass was
go,
it?
Go, go.
Sean, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna ask you. I mean, especially how much you know DC. Would you almost say that the Flash movie, kind of being the next confirmed movie coming out after Justice League? Correct me real quick if I'm wrong. That's what it is, right, Flash?
I think so. I think that, and that's next year.
Would you say that's almost the most important movie to a degree? Because, we had the Wonder Woman, the first one, awesome. We had the Batman, Superman. We had the first Justice League. We can kind of throw that out the window. We had Aquaman. We had Wonder Woman 84. All those movies, mixed feelings, but for the most part, they were cool movies, and you had the high of Justice League. And now is it kind of like, damn, like the standards set kind of high, like shit. I mean,
yeah, the
whatever's going to be the next movie after.
Yeah, the pressure's on Andy Muschietti. He made It. He's the one who's doing the Flash movie right now. The pressure's all on him and that team over there, and I hope that they do well, because if they do that well, they may start to think about Ray Fisher and his and another cyborg. Because remember, that was always in the works, and then they put the kibosh on that. We're getting an Aquaman 2. We're gonna eventually get a Wonder Woman 3. So yeah, I mean, we're getting the Green Lantern TV show. We're getting all of that's the HBO Max Gotham PD TV show, and then of course the Batman, I believe next year. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of stuff still.
And what you just said, my very last thing, and again, I guess a little directed towards you because you do know this a little bit better. Do you see any, I don't even say issues, but say damn, the movement goes, and it's like, dude, we got to take advantage of this. And obviously Ben is our Batman in, the Justice League, but then we have the Batman coming out next year whenever it comes out. Do you see it weird or any issues or anything conflicting with, say they do make another Justice League, which comes out in 2 years, but then you have Twilight, Robert Pattinson's Batman come out next year. So you kind of have two stories simultaneously going at the same time.
I mean, for us, it's like having Detective Comics and
it's
Batman.
Content, bro.
It's like two different Batmans. Like I wouldn't care. I wouldn't want Robert Pattinson in the Snyderverse thing. Like I would want Ben Affleck. He's fine. Hey, and that last scene with Martian Manhunter when he comes to his house, dude, Ben Affleck definitely reshot that scene because he looked hella skinnier in that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you guys didn't notice that, he looked more lean and everything. He wasn't like as buff and like as big. So I'm glad one of us besides myself noticed that. But
no, I did.
But I mean, dude,
he had like the button-up shirt at that point, right?
Yeah. He had just woken up from that second nightmare in March, and John Jones is coming in. Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. I'm like, it was so many. That's the thing. That's why I told you, like, I really enjoyed probably Man of Steel. I just think that it was so many characters to take in this one. I know it was 4 hours to not introduce, but kind of like run it all down. But man, it was a lot to intake for even someone like me who does a weekly podcast on this stuff. Someone like you that's even got Detective Chimp. That's not even in the damn encyclopedia knowledge. I don't know. There's no competing with that. But man, the Snyder Cut, man. Excited for what DC is going to bring. I really am. I think, like I said earlier, they've learned, they've watched and observed what MCU did right, what MCU did wrong. And I think that us being DC fans here, if kind of more biased towards them, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen because I know it's going to be good, man.
I mean, and you have Doom Patrol Season 3 being made. You have Season 3 of Titans wrapping up. That's all the HBO Max stuff. You have, Sean, I didn't even realize this, but Black Adam, of course. I failed to mention that. And then Shazam 2, which we just saw that Helen Mirren is going to be the villain in the next Shazam movie. So, I mean, we have a lot of things on the table come between now and 2024 or something like that. So,
Shazam? Mm-hmm. I mean, how excited are you for Shazam?
Well, technically, I'm kind of excited for Shazam because I believe that it's like Shazam and the something isn't like the 7 different worlds, or whatever. I think it sounds like it could be based off of the story that we were reading, Mark.
The Jeff Johns?
Yeah.
All the different lands.
Yeah, I think
so. Then I'll know a little bit. I'll have a little bit of knowledge on it then to share.
Exactly. If you give me 3 seconds, I will look up what the actual title of the movie is. I forgot what it was.
1, 2. No, but keep looking it up, Mike. I'll give the fans. I'll give the fans a little story on it. Yeah, you had the 7 magic lands, the Wonderlands. You had the You had I forgot what the other land was, but it was that one.
It's the Fury of the Gods. So I'm not sure if that's going to be it, but I thought that I saw something on it. But
was Mr. Mind going to be on it? Because Mr.
Mind was in the cutscene.
He's in Shazam also, so he's going to be kind of a part of this going forward.
Yep, you're right.
I'm telling you, that's for sure. So as much as I think Shazam was okay, I think that you need to incorporate him into one of these bigger movies, if you will, motion pictures to kind of.
It was an introduction.
Thank you. Yeah. So, origin story, right?
Basically.
Cyborg, his origin story was brought into your Snyder Cut Justice League. We don't have that origin story yet from Barry Allen, but we're going to get it coming up here soon.
Flashpoint story, yeah.
So, I mean.
So we're technically getting all of the origin stories. You had Man of Steel. You had Batman versus Superman. Sort of Batman, but I mean, come on. You can't argue with me on this one. If you don't know Batman's origin story, I don't care who you are. You don't have to watch any kind of... It's been common knowledge since the late 20s. Like what happened to Bruce Wayne in Crime Alley. You know what I'm saying? And why he put on the cape and cowl every night.
But you are wrong. That's what I'm saying. You are wrong. Let me tell you why. Because my wife, okay? I love you, my wife. But someone who doesn't know shit about whatever, she has no damn idea what Batman or where his origin from. She doesn't know, okay? She wasn't brought up with it. See, that's my wife though, right?
I know.
But she's sitting there and I'm watching the movie late at night and she walks kid and the pearls getting snatched and she's like, what movie is this? So just buy the movie, okay? By how badass the directing and the producing and whatnot, and that typical scene was of the parents getting shot. That's some deep stuff right there, right? So just by her asking me, what is this? And I tell her, oh, that's Batman. That's how the story goes, right? His parents died. He became this little rich boy, and bam, a new person knows about the story. Why? Because the movie, though. But that's why I was just trying to like prove my point. It's like as much as we know, but there's still a lot of people that there's still a lot of people that don't know Batman and the pearls and the crime alley. There's still a lot of people in this country and around the globe that don't know Batman's like story, you know, like when you watch that movie though, so
yeah, true.
Don't get me wrong. Batman, yes. Batman is probably way less than 50%, as we were arguing.
Hey, I give you over 50% of Superman, and he an alien.
I know, right?
Come on, that you better
like
know.
Who's like, oh, Superman, is that like a human or something? Like,
come on now.
Yeah, I got you, man. But yeah, it's just crazy how much like the actual motion picture can actually bring these characters to life, bro. I believe that thoroughly, I really do.
Our boy Gungeon, he wants to applaud you, Mark. He says, excellent point on people becoming born to a story universe at different points in life and how. So it's like your wife, who's in her early 30s, she is born to the Batman and his story in Batman vs. Superman, which I'm born to it when I was a couple years old, when I'm 5 years old watching Batman 89, and then, of course, when we watched Batman the Animated Series.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Exactly, like what's that, 1991 or 1992, like Batman Returns. So
mention that penguin, that scary ass penguin.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
DeVito. That shit had me scared as hell, Sean. That shit had us scared as hell when we were kids.
Biting his nose when he bit that guy's nose, I was like, oh
my god.
It is really interesting, I think, to what Mike just said. Also, because you see these different stories they're really trying to give you the same origin, but it's portrayed differently. So you see the Dark Knight and all these movies and the way it was with Christian Bale, but exactly, you can throw it back to freaking all these old school Batmans and the way it was portrayed back then. So it's definitely interesting, just like your entry point basically into the stories of all these characters.
It's funny. It's funny how Batman's parents in Batman vs Superman are Negan and Maggie. And like literally in Walking Dead, Negan kills Maggie's husband by bashing his brains in with this spiked baseball bat.
That's not right.
Yeah,
that's mean.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. Oh, you should have seen that scene. It was so freaking gruesome. It was nasty. But actually, I've watched the first episode of this new season of Walking Dead, or actually it's a continuation, I believe, of season 10. But Maggie is back on the show. She walks past Negan, and he's like, Maggie? And she just gives him the death stare as she walks by, says nothing, and then all of a sudden, before it goes to the cut scene of like the opening credits of the show, Negan's like, shit. That's all he says. He's like, oh, he's in for it, you know what I'm saying? So
you're running strong still on that, man.
Yeah. I'm like Seth Everett.
Gotta finish
I'm like
it.
Seth Everett. I'm a completist. I'm gonna complete Legends of Tomorrow if there's a new season. I'm gonna complete this last season of Black Lightning. I'm gonna complete this last season of Supergirl. And I don't know if I want to dump Batwoman. That's one of the ones I may dump after this season. It's not really my thing. And then Ruby Rose had me on it for a second, and then she drops out. It kind of just killed the vibe. But
wonder why.
But going back to Snyderverse.
Spider-Verse.
I know, right? Into the
Spider Cut.
Into the Spider-Verse #2. Can't wait for that to come out also.
Definitely.
Number 2. But anyways, but the Snyder Cut. Go back to Snyder Cut. I mean, just to see.
Yes.
Again, going back to what I felt like I didn't get enough of. I didn't get enough of Apocalypse. I didn't get enough of Granny Goodness, Desaad, Darkseid. He's one of my top 3 favorite villains in all of comics, and I got just a little taste. I pretty much saw half of what he was in the movie. I saw in some of the trailers and stuff. So,
I wanted to see definitely an epic battle with Darkseid again and the obviously Justice League. I was like, especially when that portal was open right before they closed it, and you pretty much never seen them after that. I was like, can it be something? Give me something. And it definitely is just a little bit of the appetizer. We didn't get the main course with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think with how the movies were supposed to go is how they were maybe supposed to fight on Apocalypse and get their asses kicked, and then number 3 was the battle for everything back on Earth. But I did not know this, but the vision of the nightmare at the end was how it showed Superman holding a dead body, like a burnt, singed body. Remember that? And then Darkseid puts his hand on Superman's shoulder. That was Lois Lane, right? The whole thing was supposed to be that their kid was supposed to be Batman. Batman was supposed to sacrifice himself and die. And then Superman and Lois's son was going to then be the new Batman. But that's not Superman's son. Lois and Bruce have an affair, and that is Bruce Wayne's son. So it's partly
who's your baby daddy.
That's probably one of the reasons, why that he's hunting them, in the nightmare. Baby daddy.
So why his eyes look like Bruce's?
I know, right? Yes, Gungeon Spider-Verse 2 is coming. It's in development right now.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait for that one because that's arguably, if you go to Rotten Tomatoes had a list of the top 100 comic book genre films. Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man was number 1 of all time. Of any comic book movie.
Of all time.
Didn't it win awards?
Yeah.
Oscars or something?
For animation and stuff. It's usually always Disney and Pixar and stuff winning it, or one of those foreign French films. But Into the Spider-Verse definitely did win. But I think that's pretty much it. Everyone go watch the Snyder Cut. Go watch Falcon Winter Soldier. But that is it for episode 105. Thank you so much. We got a lot of interaction with the fans on YouTube and Twitch today. Thank you so much.
That's what it's about, baby.
But yeah, so go ahead and follow us. Actually, no, that's not my job yet. You guys are supposed to take it away. So end 105, fellas.
You know what? Beautiful episode with my brothers, Mark, Mike, episode 105, to Gungeon, Matt, Aaron, to everyone that did tune in, whether it was YouTube and Twitch. We appreciate you guys. This is definitely a weekly thing with the guys. We obviously have a couple new episodes out with Batcave Minutes. We're going to have some After Hours with Mark, After Dark with Mark, sorry. And then the Powers Hour. We're going to have an episode of that coming out soon. So yeah, definitely just keep checking us out on our social media streams. Subscribe. It's all free, and it definitely supports us. And in return, we just try to give you the content that we do week in and week out. Enjoy some March Madness on Saturday. If you haven't watched these movies and shows that we have talked about, definitely check them out. And I think most importantly, if you're not into comic books, take your ass to Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California if you want to talk to a super cool guy in Alex, and just get a book, man. Find a character that you like, whether it's Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all these different characters, or you can even go to one of these different publishers on some real life shit.
Or detective.
Definitely check out
Detective Chimp.
Or the detective chimp. There you go. And like always, man, definitely check us out. As I mentioned earlier, the social media pages. Mike's going to give you the breakdown of all the contacts. We appreciate you guys. Keep chiming in, giving us suggestions, constructive criticism, and just keep supporting us, man. We appreciate it, guys.
Always at the comic book. He's on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, all social media platforms, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being all together here. I'm so excited that we get to share 105 episodes. This is really our 2-year anniversary because we are all that started over, bro.
Yeah, like right when you were like starting what you were saying, like you were completely cut out. So I don't want to lose this. Sorry, folks, I don't want to lose this on the audio for the actual podcast.
Blame Comcast. We're good.
Yeah, I know, right?
Damn. Okay. At the comicbookies@gmail.com, at the comicbookies on Instagram and on Twitter, also on Facebook. Join us for all comic bookie talk, entertainment, sports. We always collide the world of sports and comics weekly, every week, bringing it to you guys, and we're bringing it to even more places all over the world. Thank you to platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, that lets us spread our wings and fly. But thank you guys. Sean, you mentioned earlier for all the people that got to join tonight, ask us questions. That's exactly what we're going live for. We're still new to this thing. We're still ironing out kinks every week. But nonetheless, if you're still listening to this podcast, I suggest that you join us every weeknight, Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Brought to you by Treasure Island Comics on Fremont, California. This is the Comic Bookies Podcast live. Thank you guys. Brasi, Hermão. I'm so excited. These books this week, like I said, pick them up. Infinite Frontier is kicking off. This is the new era of DC for all you DC aficionados out there. Marvel's releasing some new stuff, as they have been, but you got Carnage. And like I said, man, just thank you. Subscribe. Give us a 1-star if you want. We actually like 5, but we are that fruitful here, like Mike mentioned earlier. So thank you, TCB fans. Let's go. 105. Make that money with the Orange in Syracuse, number 11, facing Houston, Saturday, March 27th. A little bet for your little comic booking needs. Thank you, fans, and let's go, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I want to go ahead and bring up, there's no new countries on the Comic Bookie Passport this week to stamp, so sorry about that, although we are in, I believe, 5 out of the 7 continents. We just need to hit Antarctica and Australia for some reason. It's the whole country is a continent. I want to get one download in Australia, so please, if you know anybody in Australia, hit them up, tell them to download. Come on, man.
From a land down
Come on,
under.
exactly. Some little men at work. Hell yeah, Mark. So anyways, I'm proud to announce, though, that just this past week, early this week, we were approved on iHeartRadio and radio.com mobile app. So if you get your podcasts on those services, dude, it's just 2 more places for you to download us and just, intake. Just all the intake. So thank you so much for downloading, subscribing, listening, rating, reviewing. Keep doing that. Keep watching us live, and just, we love what we're doing, and we're doing it for you. It's been great so far. Happy 2 years to us as of 2 days ago. But yeah, this is Mike. That's Mark, and that's Sean. This has been the Comic Bookies Podcast Live, episode 105. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace out. Have a great weekend. Barbecue something, damn it.
Peace.
And always enjoy each other. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, and like I'm going to mention now, I want to end it with a moment of silence as we hit this outro for Boulder, Colorado, Atlanta, and anything else going on over the world due to gun violence, racism, and just hatred. Love yourself, love your family, and love each other. Let's go, man. TCB, I love you, brothers. Peace.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. We will see you next week. Peace out, guys.
Peace.